Don't scroll. You know I only say that when something's important. I got a message this morning from a friend of mine asking for a message of hope for the collective. And I sat and thought for a while about where this could go, and I came across one of the poems that I had written before called The World I Know. And it wasn't quite hitting the mark of what I thought was needed because it's a little bit more on what's going wrong side. So I wrote a response to that poem called The World We Can Become. And this is what happens when things start to go right. In the world we can become, we lift each other high. We see the cracks and shattered parts and learn to heal, not hide. The world can seem so broken with hurricanes and war, but underneath the rubble we still have so much more. Corruption rots the system, but truth can cut through lies. When we gather all our voices, hope will never die. In the world we will create, we stand as one, united. No more walls of fear and hate, just bridges reignited. We've seen the depths of suffering, the greed that poisons dreams, but now it's time for mending, for joining hands, not schemes. It's not senseless to believe that light can break the night. If we become the change we need, we'll turn the wrong to right. Leaders who deceive us will fall beneath our feet, for when we rise together, there's no foe we can't defeat. The world I want to live in is one where we all see that peace isn't just a vision, but our shared reality. So put down all your anger, your judgments, and your pain. We've got the power to rebuild and stand in love again. The earth, she cries for mercy. She's calling out for care. If we don't act with urgency, we'll feel the weight of her despair. But hope, it's in our choices, our actions, not our cries. The world we can become, my friend, is rising in our eyes. Together we can make it through the hurricanes and war. Together we can heal this earth and open up new doors. The person that you are today can be the key, you see. The next step in the human path begins with you and me. In the world we're building now, we can see with clearer eyes, no longer blind to suffering or deaf to desperate cries. We've learned that when we stumble, we don't fall down alone, for every soul that reaches out will help us find our home. It's not the leaders shouting loud who will lead us to the light, but ordinary hands in crowds that lift us through the fight. In the world we're going towards, we break the chains of hate, for love is the only force we need to shift a broken fate. We start by speaking truth again to friends and foes the same, and when we see injustice, we call it by its name. We gather up the pieces of the world that's torn apart and plant the seeds of something new. It starts within the heart. The world we're going to create won't be a perfect place, but every single act of love will leave a lasting trace. The storms will still be raging, the wars may not yet cease, but if we walk this path as one, we'll still move toward peace. Corruption, greed, and power have held the world in chains, but we are not defeated when love's light still remains. So let's put down our weapons, let's lift our voices strong. The world that we're creating is one where we all belong. In the world that's rising now, we see each other's pain, and through that shared compassion, we'll build the bridge again. So take this hand extended and lend your own as well. We've seen the darkest parts of life, but in the light we will dwell. Together we can turn this tide, undo the harm that's done. The world we want, the world we need, begins with everyone. We've walked through fire, faced the storm, but we're still standing tall. Now's the time to show the world we've learned from every fall. No more waiting for a savior or a leader to appear. The change we need begins with us, the ones who persevere. It's in the way we show up now with kindness in our hands, a spark of hope in every heart across all seas and lands. We're done with chasing shadows, with letting hate divide. The future's in our unity, in love we will collide. The systems may be broken, the world might feel undone, but when we stand together, we rise up as one bright sun. Each voice is like a candle, each choice a steady flame, and when we work to lift each other, we won't burn out the same. In the world we're building up, we know the pain is steep, but every time we choose to love, we plant the roots so deep. So here's the truth we carry now. The hope we long to see has never been outside of us. It's who we choose to be. We'll face the greed, the hurricanes, the lies they try to sell, but in our hearts we hold the key to break this heavy spell. We'll stand for those who have lost their way, for children seeking peace. And in each act of love we make, the world's pain will release. The spark we hold is endless. It spreads with every touch. And through that spark we'll find the strength to rise and heal as much. In the world that we're becoming, we won't let hope grow cold. For the next step in our journey is in every hand that we hold.